Well, hello again, Aries. It's May 2020. How are you holding out there in your lockdown? Hope you're all being as productive as you can. It's Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. Don't forget to subscribe. Drop me a note if you wish. But this month, if I start to kick off the animation, we see straight away this very powerful conjunction of Mercury, the Sun, and Uranus in this second house of money. And then on the third, see, after a couple of interesting little aspects here, the Moon, which is very friendly to you, creates a lovely triangular aspect here between this sixth house, second house. This is what we call the Earth trine. And so money and getting a handle on the methodologies, the routine, and how you can best earn is going to be the focus there in the first few days of this month. Now, the other thing you've got to understand is that Uranus is usually very unpredictable in the way that it operates. So Aries, at least here we see by the 6th, 7th, these planets are moving away, but still nevertheless creating some interesting times for you financially. Thereafter you have the Moon in the 7th house, then the 8th, and that's the full moon, which I think is very, very important. Partnerships in the 7th, and then this shared resources in the 8th, casting that full moon influence on this second house again and creating an opposition to Mercury and to Uranus. So that could be a very, very edgy few days there as well, especially if you're dealing with bank managers, insurance, all of those really fun things that we like to deal with. I'm trying to have a look here at, firstly, this 11th house, which is nice to see Mars having moved away. That's your ruling planet. Still quite sociable, quite driven to be with friends, family. But another thing there with this 11th house is really pushing for your dreams, for your ideals. And when the moon swings around here through the 10th house, again, you've got that triangular aspect from the other Earth sign in your horoscope, the most important sign, which is the 10th house Capricorn, your career, your self-esteem. Here we see a rather intense combination with Pluto and Jupiter there on the 13th, indicating an almost obsessive approach to your finances. You'll note also at that same time a big shift, pardon me, a big shift from this 11th house Mars to the 12th house, which is a lower key area of your horoscope. So that's going to start a period, I think, where if any of you have been resistant to the lockdown, 12th house is a more natural position in the zodiac for you to feel comfortable. And then again there at 15th, 16th, the moon making its association with your ruler. That's quite nice, and I think you'll find some solace there within the confines of your own home. And you should be working to find some new methodologies. As I said, the exciting financial combo here is important, but this is just as important because it pulls you back from this deflection that I'm seeing everywhere. You don't want to be deflecting. You want to just bring that energy, rope it back in, and focus it on things that are going to be of use to you. On the 20th, 21st, there's a shift again. You notice here, just earlier than that, Mercury moving away from the second house into the third house with Venus. A very nice placement, fun sort of position, and it's also a very aesthetic or creative point in the horoscope. Around the 20th again, you've got that connection with Uranus. So it's like that seems to be a recurrent theme for the month. Sun moves out of this second house as well. So what was at the beginning of the month a focus on your finances is now a focus more on your communication, your delivery, contracts and that type of thing. And that is going to be particularly so when this new moon, which happens on the 24th, there it is there, occurs in this third house. So it's a whole new cycle, a new way of approaching your communication, looking at how you are going to negotiate the best deal for yourself. Interestingly too, just to digress, this has to do with relationships. Venus here is the ruler of your 7th house. You'll notice here that the sun, probably not straight off this month, probably more next month, but you should prepare yourself with the sun getting closer to Venus. Mercury and Venus are fine, but this is called combustion as the sun edges its way here. Later, you'll maybe find some difficulties there in your relationship. So you need to communicate whatever's on your chest now earlier rather than later. Towards the end of the month, a nice creative aspect here, but that's still tense and challenging. You see here the Jupiter-Saturn combination in the opposite part of the heavens can give you a bit of a creative block. As soon as it passes that opposition of Saturn, there around the 29th, and the last couple of days of the month, you have a far better creative flow, if I could put it that way. Notice also, on the last day or two, Mercury moving into your 4th house. That is certainly going to bring your attention to family matters, communicating with your loved ones, and also contemplating how you can best negotiate this lockdown. Hopefully by the end of May, this is going to be a period of freedom and celebration for all of us. It still shows that you may develop a taste for this lockdown with your ruling planet in the 12th house. The key points here, towards the end of the month, you notice it starts when the sun is moving into that close conjunction to Venus. All sorts of relationship things can start to play out. And that's all the more probable with Mars in the square aspect. And just there you see this square aspect. These are right angles coming from the relationship planet to Mars, to Moon. And this, as Western astrologers call it, is a T-square. Maybe it means a bit of time out. I'm going to be back next month, but don't forget to check out our weekly horoscopes now, our daily horoscopes. We've got the monthlies there for you in a chronological order. And that's at astrology.com.au. Drop me a note, as I said earlier. And for any of you who would like to know where everything's going, why not take some time out with me face-to-face, one-on-one. Let's have a look at your chart and see what we can decipher from it. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.